The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building a buying, selling a home, the real estate crew's got news for you. Real estate house party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real estate house party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real estate house party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Welcome and thanks for joining us here on the Real Estate House Party. This took the longest prep time to get the show
Do you
ready.
know that I'm sitting in Tony's seat today?
You gotta take your shoes off.
You gotta take
they're
your
off.
shoes off.
They're
you
off.
gotta give us your best Tony V line.
Oh, it's not clean enough.
So we have Kathy Holtshouser sitting in
thank you.
Tony V's line.
Yeah.
You are looking like you're relaxing like Tony V.
Yeah, I had to take my shoes off. My feet were hot.
And we got Candice Pagliarulo back with us.
Hi,
from Century
guys.
21.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
so
me back.
We had so much information a couple weeks ago about sellers behaving badly.
Yeah.
It seemed like so long ago, didn't
I
it?
know.
Oh, I know. Exactly. I appreciate you making the drive all the way back up here for a second time. You know, this
Sure,
is awesome.
of course.
This is good there. And
She likes to stop at the furniture stores.
stops
I
at the
do.
furniture store.
I do.
I
enjoy
appreciate
it.
that.
Yeah.
And again, this is the most prep time. It is maybe our viewers and listeners can let us know if everyone's face and hair look okay, because this took a lot of prep time to
I
get this
know.
show rolling here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another rainy day.
Another rainy day. This is like
What are the
It's a
odds?
bad hair day.
funny, last time you guys were here was a rainy day
Yeah.
too, right?
So weird.
I know, that's weird there. So last time we're talking about sellers behaving badly. Can I tell one quick seller cute story?
We can't finish it. We
and
can't end it.
then we'll move into the
You know,
buyers.
you can never drop it.
We can never
you?
drop it.
No.
Now, this is a seller who used to tell his, and I heard this firsthand, used to tell his wife that, there's an open house that day and that she would clean up quickly and take off for the day. And, and she kept calling the broker saying, how'd our open house go? And she goes, we didn't have any open house. Your husband just says that to get you out of the room.
That is
To
genius.
clean the house
To
first.
clean the house.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
That's
And make
genius.
the banana bread and scoop for
Yeah.
the day.
Smart.
With the dogs.
all right. So,
Smart man.
so is that our last seller behaving badly? And then
Yeah,
we'll move
let's
into
talk about buyers behaving badly.
All right, oh, we could talk about this.
Oh.
Can you give fraudulent checks now? Can you do that? Is that?
No.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Wire fraud. I mean, we could go the whole
Yeah, we
gamut
did
if you want.
a couple weeks ago. We did a whole show on wire fraud, and it's a very, very scary thing. We had a situation that we heard about that the buyer almost wired out $96,000 to a fraudulent account.
I've heard of attorneys doing it.
I have
yeah,
too.
we have too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it's very easy to do. And at that point, you're out the money.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we have a couple stop things in people's way that we're not going to ever accept a wire unless we've authorized it in person and whatnot. So
It's
we're
the reason why you need to work with a real estate.
Carter Real Estate Law,
yeah, Carter Real
conveniently
Estate
located
Law.
at Reading, Mass, Londonderry, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So we appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess that's a quick tip right off the bat. If anyone says,
Just
we
wire
didn't-
us the money.
just wire it over here, and we're going to give you the correct information. We know your law office has given it to you once, but it's really supposed to go here.
Right.
And
Don't let anyone override your original information that you've gotten from your closing attorney. What we're trying to do now is go to our buyers at the very beginning of the process and tell them, like you give them the lists of what to expect and what to happen, what's going to happen. We're going to do the exact same thing right off the bat, verbally. And I would much rather have them call me if they can get a hold of me. And
So
have
tell
a
them your hours
verbal-
that you work.
Yeah,
11 to
11
1:30.
to 1:30. I'm actually reachable day and night, so I'd rather have a conversation with you and have things
Now, will
go.
they have your cell number when you're in Italy?
No.
How about
No, you
Key
won't
West?
either. I'm not getting the international plan. I am gone.
All right, one tip of the day. Watch out for those wires. It's very
Yeah.
prevalent. If you Google it, go online, you find out what's going on. I actually had a situation. It wasn't quite that extreme, but I called the FBI And I said, this is the scenario they attempted. It wasn't quite that intricate. And the FBI agent said, well, how much did you lose? I said, well, we didn't lose anything. It was almost like we can't bother. We got so many people in front of you. I mean, thousands of people.
So if there's no damages, then it's not
you
something
can
that
file
they're gonna...
a complaint. I said, well, you can't work backwards because we have the account number that they were trying to have it sent to. He says, no,
Isn't that crazy?
They're going to close that out right away. So don't even bother. So that's our first tip of the day. But not necessarily all buyers are acting badly, but sometimes
they need tips and they need guidance and they need us Carter Law Office and our good lenders and our good real estate agents.
So there's a second tip of the day. You should get a real estate team together, right?
Yeah. I would,
but not just a team.
Right.
You need the A team. You do.
Wow.
You
need professional.
This is the thing. A lot of people will say, my aunt told me that I didn't need a real estate agent. I don't need owner's title insurance. I don't need to do this. I don't need to get my documents into the lender, even though they've asked me for them 4 times. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Well, at the end of the day, you're not going to get your loan. So,
but not only that, people say, "Oh, I'll just use my cousin. He just he passed the bar." Right, scary stuff, and they won't know about this type of
or even someone who's been doing it for 25 years, but they do family law.
Right.
I mean, it's just
they kind of muck up
the process. They ruin everything for us. We always get frustrated with that, and they overcharge their family.
Yeah,
right.
They don't even know the going rates anymore.
It's a discount, right?
And it's definitely unfortunate. And then when people say, "Oh, I'm just going to use my aunt," she's been hanging her license, over at this place. She doesn't do much. I just want to give her the business.
So it looks like Candice
Good luck
is pushing
with that.
Use Carter Real Estate Law out of Reading, Mass.
Right.
I am, and I'm also pushing to not use your family. I'm pushing you to use the professionals that do this.
And that also works with a mortgage broker. You probably want to have someone who's very well versed at this, and each buyer that seems to come in has their own unique circumstances on whether they can get a loan or not.
The other thing is nowadays. It's the lenders are really automated, and so they ask you for your 2 years tax returns or whatever, and they ask you for a whole laundry list of things. You send them in, and then maybe a week later you see another notice. They need your tax returns. There's a disconnect there because you can't just ignore that next notification that's what they need because they A, didn't get them, or B, they're lost, or C, they went to the wrong email, or something. You know what I mean? So you have to either pick up the phone and say, I sent them last week at this time, or resend them, because that's what people don't understand.
That's another reason why it's important to be able to pick up the phone and talk to your lender. And not just go with an online lender or the automated lending systems. Those are not perfected yet. And I don't know if they ever will be. And they scare me. And just because they throw out a good rate to you doesn't mean you're going to get good service.
Right.
And things are going to go smoothly. They very well could be disastrous. And agents know when they're getting offers what's what.
Right. And they know what lenders are going to get the deal done.
They know the good local lenders.
Yeah.
Correct.
And the local lenders are good because you can walk into their office. You can get them on the phone. You could actually run into them at Starbucks, or do you know what I mean? Like
pretty much, usually your agent
in your community. So it's a lot different when there's a chance that you guys can connect, personally, as opposed to...
And they need to be accountable because of that,
Exactly. As opposed to somebody answering the phone in California and, Kathy
Hold on, let me put you on hold.
Yeah, forget it, I'm not taking her call.
Yeah.
And they can run away from you because it's a lot easier. So I think that...
It's awful.
Yeah. All right, so if you two are originators, you guys have been in this world long enough.
What do you mean? You call me old?
I said long enough. Yeah. How long have you worked at Carter Real Estate Law?
Too long.
Well, I was going to get into what's important when selecting your A team is the experience. So how long have you guys been doing this for?
Well, together 29 years.
Combined.
No. Together. Well, combined it'd be closer to like 80.
Centennial.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was licensed when I was 18, but I've got 22 years behind me. I started when I was even younger in the business.
So right here, we probably
assisting.
have over 100 years of experience.
Yeah, and it's important. I think that's the most important thing.
I tell people this all the time. I'm just amazed because Kathy has never had a bad thought about Rick Carter or Carter Real Estate Law. Never crossed. It's never had a problem at all. So
I haven't heard of anybody.
What?
It's a good thing I don't have Tourette's.
That would be great for the show. But no, honestly, that's why I work with you guys. All my clients love you guys.
And that's great. You've had some great originators you're working with lately. I actually got. What I try to do is watch everyone's financing date. I know, call me crazy. So if it says
that's a
when you say financing date, you mean commitment date. That's
correct.
The date that the bank is to officially approve your loan.
Correct.
But I don't know how many real estate attorneys actually watch financing dates.
I know,
or
and
commitment dates.
I think it's just
a lot of real estate agents watch them, but I don't.
We
know.
have to watch them, right? For sure.
It's just ripe for lawsuits, I think. So I watched the dates, and my last one I had with you. I called or emailed the originator and said, it's coming up in a few days. How you looking? He says, I issued that title commitment 3 weeks ago. I was like shocked.
He's amazing.
I have not seen that at all in a long time.
And again,
I liked that closing.
That was a great closing.
Yeah, again, you've got to work with the best, and it takes years to find the best. That's why it's important to work with people.
And what it does is it takes the element of surprise out of the closing, right?
Right.
Because if you're working with Carter Law Office and you're working with a lender that you trust, or you're working with a real estate agent that is always on top of things, there aren't any surprises.
Well, there always can be surprises, right? These are houses. This is, there's always human error.
There's a lot of communication. Guess what, Kathy?
It drastically reduces the possibilities of any disaster.
The element of surprise.
Yeah, and the element of
surprise. So
surprise.
if some potential buyer was coming in, we've done this long enough. I know we aren't originators. What suggestions would you give a buyer?
This is the first one.
Okay. All right, we're going to go back and forth.
Okay, my turn.
Okay, go ahead.
I would
remember on the radio show
we
used to tell you how to raise your hand.
I know. All right, but here we have the shut up look. So I would recommend to the buyer that they contact their insurance agent immediately after signing the purchase and sale agreement. Because
that's a good one.
Sometimes it takes more than a day.
You sound like Christine Hurley.
More than a day to get an insurance binder.
No, that's a great point.
Or
that's way down my list.
I would even add to that and say it should happen well before that, because I've had problems with flood insurance arriving.
I was just going to say that. If the minute you hear that this new house that you're buying is in a flood zone, then you need flood insurance. You better get on it. Right. You better have it looked at quickly.
So that both your points, I'd go to the insurance agent right away. Say, I'm probably buying this house.
Yeah.
Here's the address. They can look that up. They can look it up, and they say if this isn't a flood zone or not. Because we figure it out from our end, because we get it on our
and the lender figures it out when it's down the road.
Right.
It might not be.
We have a situation now where the buyer says, I didn't know. I thought it was about $800. Now it's $2,900. I'm not sure if I have enough money.
Well, that's a deal breaker in some buyers' instances where they can't afford the monthly payment.
Right.
It could be. Yeah. I've had instances where I've been able to save that because I'm able to get certain things. People on my team, I can call and get an elevation certificate. Maybe there's certain things that we can do that can elevate the land.
Certificate?
So an elevation certificate basically says you're at this level height based on...
You are in a flood zone, but if it's high enough...
you don't need flood insurance.
Based on FEMA maps. It's all based on FEMA maps and what they decided. They were going to decide at the new mapping process and where houses laid within the past 2 years. And so houses that never were ever in a flood zone are now.
Right.
So there's people that are like, what are you talking about? Or there's people that have owned their house outright that have never even had to inquire about anything like that.
Or they had flood
a lot of people are getting
for like
surprised.
$600 or $700, but the flood insurance has gone up so dramatically in the last couple of years that their $800 policy now to the new buyer coming along is triple what they had.
I always recommend if $500 to get an elevation certificate. I actually got a house removed from the flood zone. My last one.
Okay,
it was huge. They got quoted $3,500 a year, and we got it completely removed.
But you need to know what to do. You need to know what to do. And you need the time to figure it out. It's not like this can be fixed overnight.
No, it can't be fixed overnight. Most people wouldn't have known to even do that. It was a huge deal. It was great. Right. We knew the resources to call and who to call. Again, goes back to experience and calling the right people and working with the right people to adjust it. Now, does that happen every time? No. But typically a elevation certificate can drastically reduce your amount that you're paying as well. So it's usually worth its weight.
Absolutely, because that buyer is going to have to pay for that years up front. Right.
Again, it could be a deal breaker for a buyer. Deal breaker.
Not only flood insurance, but I've actually seen it with home insurance too.
Right.
Where this situation where the guy had a pet that wasn't, it didn't make
restricted breeds. We call them, the pit bulls and the shepherds, and they may be the best dogs.
He looked into his insurance 3 days beforehand. The closing.
Oh, right, the whole closing fell through. Yeah, done deal.
Yeah, so
because of that.
Yeah.
Well, I think the dog was
a blessing. Maybe he had buyer's remorse.
So it's possible, but there's ways to fix all of these things too. Yeah, is it going to cost you a little bit more? You need a special rider on your policy. Your agent should know about this, and your agent should know who to call to talk to at the insurance company that can help them with these types of problems. So that's important.
What happens?
I would never let a deal blow up because of that.
No, it actually.
No, of course you wouldn't, Candice. That's why you're number one.
Where's the Maywalks? I'm kidding.
What is your?
Every time you see us, you're looking for your Tums or your Maywalks.
Why I don't bring extra Tums?
What is your logo on your email? It was a really cute saying.
Which one? We've got a few of them. The Can Do Group. We can do it all.
And I called you, and I'm like, "Is this the Can Do Group?"
Yeah, Candice, Can Do.
Yep.
I have another one too. You like our attitude, and you love our results. The Can Do Group.
Yeah,
I like your quote you sent me last night about 1:30 in the morning. The best investment on earth is
Earth.
Yeah.
There you go.
I really like that one.
There you go. So,
stop thinking about it and start doing it.
Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. Maybe prices are high right now. It's all relative. Everything balances out. Hold on to the property. Sell a property. You move and sell when you have to. The best investment you can make, regardless, is real estate. Get in and start buying.
Let me ask you this hypothetical. See if you've ever. Kathy's rolling her eyes.
I gotta go. Is it time to go?
Are we getting hypothetical? All right.
What if your house doesn't appraise out? Should you panic, or how do you handle that from a seller point of view and a buyer point of view?
Okay. Well, we're talking about buyers now, right?
I know.
So
we made the switch.
I know.
We made the switch.
Do you want me to tell you my seller thought or not?
Or you be the seller, I'll be the buyer. Go ahead.
All right. So
you be the seller's agent.
Okay, so
I'll be the buyer's agent.
I'm the seller.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No wonder to
be a bad seller.
Does Stu know you're getting an extra $100,000 on the deal or what?
Don't tell him.
Don't tell him. All right. So this is what's happening in the market.
Give us a scenario.
The scenario is a house is being sold for $800,000.
Yeah.
You have worked this crowd in a frenzy. There's 10 offers on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually hearing this as an example from a couple weeks ago. $100,000 over. Asking price.
So the price is $900,000 now.
The price is now $900,000.
Mm-hmm.
If I was on the seller end, I would say, all right, we're selling it to you for $900,000. You're the one.
No matter what.
Exactly. So I would put in the purchase and sale. Almost
as the agent.
What are you throwing yourself softballs?
Yeah, I know. I kind of am. I knew
I
knew the answer. I gotta tell everyone. I knew the answer to this. I know it. It looked like I had an obscure thought process that we've never run into this before. But So I'm not amazing anyone with this answer at all.
What's the answer?
So go ahead.
No.
The answer is that the buyer still needs to buy the house.
If we put that in the purchase and sale.
If Rick Carter puts it in the purchase and sale agreement for $900,000, even if it doesn't appraise out.
It starts even before the purchase and sale, though. It starts at offer. Yeah. So if I'm the seller's agent and I'm getting all these offers in, immediately I'm educating my seller, telling them that, all right, you realize we're not going to appraise out at $900,000. So the offers that you need to consider are ones that are going to waive the appraisal appraisal contingency here, and they have enough cash, and they can prove it to us that they can have enough cash to put down to make up the difference in the down payment that they plan to put down. So if they're putting down 20%, they also need to put down an additional $100,000 to make it up. It does not mean anything if they are putting down 20%. That means nothing. It doesn't come off the price of the appraisal.
Because in some offers you see,
and that's a
as
big
long as the house appraises out, right? So if you're paying $500,000 for a house, isn't there language in the purchase and sale agreement saying that the house has to appraise out at $500,000?
Back to the buyer's side. That's probably what you'd suggest for a buyer's agent.
So hold on, let me take off that hat. Now I'm a buyer, and the agent comes to me and says, if you want to win this offer, you've got to, if I'm up against other offers, some people are waiving appraisal. Are you willing to put up $100,000 to win this house aside from your down payment?
So that means you have to have $100,000 more sitting in a bank account, prepared to bring to the closing.
Yeah, not under your bed.
You're not going to get. You're not going to get the loan for 20%. Of the 500, whatever
you may decide to drop your 20% down payment down to 10 or whatever. There's options here. Okay, if you love the house, you make it happen. And at the end of the day, what it boils down to is your comfort level with your payment.
Right.
I don't care. It's all relative. Money's all relative.
Right.
Okay. At the end of the day, your monthly budget needs to be comfortable for you. Right. So that's what I say to my buyers. I don't care if you pay $10,000 more. It's another $50 a month out of your pocket.
If you can afford $50 more,
who cares? It's not principle about this. A lot of people get stuck on this. Get over the principle of the $10,000. Do you want to keep looking for another year? This is the house you wanted. $50 is $50, and this will end this. Do you want it over? So I educate them. There's a lot of different ways that I tell them about this. But yeah, you are definitely taking on the liability when you drop a contingency.
Right.
For sure, as a buyer.
Well, and then let's talk about dropping as a buyer.
If you want it, that's what you're going to do.
Drop in the financing contingency. I mean, how scary is that?
So I really don't. If they need financing and they can't buy it without it, I don't do it. I don't.
Of course.
I don't perform that way.
Right.
Some people can buy cash.
Right.
And they are choosing to get a loan, but they still have the cash to back it up. Then we will drop it.
Their B plan is that they'll buy it with cash and then maybe refinance in a year or
they'll just buy cash and then they'll get the loan after.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of options. You need to move your chess pieces around accordingly.
Right.
Did you hear about this company out in California I think it's called.
I already don't like them.
I know. No, you're not going to like this. I don't see it working, but I'm just throwing it out. I think it's called Knock. So what they do is if you're trying to sell a house, buy a house, what they do is they come in and they
buy your house.
They buy
bridge.
Okay. Yeah, bridge loan.
No. They buy the house, and so
you get your money.
So it's in their name.
Yep.
And then they rent it to the seller. So they move them in, and then once they sell their house, I know it's a little convoluted. So then they sell their house, and now they pay off this one that they bought. So I think it's kind of.
I love it. I think it's great. Could you please call me Knock? However, from a legal standpoint, it sounds disastrous.
Oh, it could be crazy. Oh, yeah.
I think it sounds great.
Yeah.
If we could do that,
they don't cut out the real estate
it would be around
agents.
here. It wouldn't just be in California, right?
But what about if, so there's a buyer and a seller, right? But the buyer has a house to sell.
Yeah. So he's trying to avoid that problem.
Yeah, it's great.
Because most sellers will not take a
contingency of another sale,
right? Which is common knowledge these days. So if you have a house to sell, it's hard to maneuver. If you have a house to sell, but you found the house of your dreams,
it's going to cost you money.
Yep.
And you're going to pay for it if the case is going to drive the price up on you.
Yep.
Or you very well could lose out. Right. Yeah, for sure. It's a big deal.
So this company comes in and fixes your problem. So
that's why I said I love it. Sounds great.
So the
and you guys aren't cut out because they still need the agent.
You still need agents, of course. It's solving our problem, to be honest with you, because buyers look before they should. They put the cart before the horse.
But what if the buyer goes and buys the house, right?
Well, the buyer isn't buying the house. This other company's buying the house.
Oh, so they sell the house. They sell
come in
it,
and
so they
buy
give
the house.
Cash.
They're an intermediary.
Yeah,
right, sounds
exactly.
Like. Yeah.
So and then they just rent it to this buyer.
What could go wrong?
Nothing. I think it's
like
flawless.
I said, from a legal standpoint, doesn't sound like fun. For me, I think it's great. I think you should look into. Is it a franchise? Check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, so
let's do it.
Candice is always up for
I'm in.
She's always up.
Yeah.
I'm in. Anything that can make this process easier. It's very hard for people to sell their houses as sellers, move in with their in-laws, rent an apartment.
Well, you got to put your stuff in storage.
I'm able to avoid that most times when I do a list and sell. I'm able to streamline it, but it's a lot. There is risk to it.
But what if you sell your house and then you can't find your next house of your dreams? So now you're in an apartment.
Well, that's another reason why you need a good agent who's going to realistically educate you. I'm going to give you enough time to find something.
Right.
Well, honestly, I've been able to do it every time. I'm not going to lie to you, but I set the expectations
in your purchase sales then, which is a great contingency. It's subject to you selling your house. How often does sellers are they okay with that?
They're probably not taking that anymore.
You mean how often how okay are buyers with that? You mean?
Well, no, buyers love that.
No. If we're talking, you just said.
No. So if I'm buying Kathy's house, but I have a house to sell, I'd love the contingency. Well,
you have to.
I'm not doing it unless I can sell my house.
I'm not doing it.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
But then sellers in a seller's market.
You don't come together.
Right. Exactly. So.
Right.
All right. So what are the advice that we have? We have some buyers come in, and what do we do? This is what I tell them.
Well, Candice just said set the expectation, and I kind of have that's kind of been my motto in Carter Law Office.
Right, but what's their expectation? Their expectation is don't change any of your circumstances at this point.
Right. Do not use your credit cards.
Even though we've had originators on say, don't worry about it. Right. But to set expectation, we should be telling them. Don't do anything.
Don't do this.
Stay in a bubble. Don't get married. Don't get divorced.
I have a don't do form.
And listen,
and I make them sign it.
You find you're in a situation where you have to buy something or whatnot.
Please wait. Just wait.
Well, hold on.
No, I'm not telling you to wait.
Oh, no.
Telling the borrower to wait.
Or call your originator.
That's what I would say.
Listen,
ask them if this purchase is okay.
I just found this bedroom set that's going to look beautiful in my new house. Yeah. What do you think? He's going to tell you honestly because
he's going to tell you how to do it.
Can I ask you a question? What? Do you do it with that whiny voice? Because they're probably going to let you do it if you do it that way.
Please,
I love this.
But there's plenty of ways. He might say use this card. He might say buy it with cash. He might say different ways of doing it that won't affect the credit score. So don't finance it through Bernie and Phil's, please. Don't go buy a whole house of furniture.
Don't get an interest-only loan because they're going to pull your credit, which is going to ding your credit just a tiny bit. Or it could be a problem, or it could not be might not be a problem.
There's so many things. Don't go buy a car. I mean, I've gotten people that say, "Oh yeah, we're on our way to the inspection right now. We just had to sign the papers on the new car." No, you didn't.
How about don't quit your job?
Don't quit your job and don't get fired.
Right.
Don't change. Just bite your lip.
Yeah, just
stick it out.
Stay put.
Stick it out. As long as you can at your job. Quit the day after you get your house.
Well, some lenders will call up to 7 days after the closing.
All right, wait a week.
As a quality control. So don't quit your job, guys. You just stick it out.
Hey, you gotta afford the house,
I know.
Right? How else
this is why you have to have your real estate team together because you're going to talk to your mortgage guy because they probably can get around if you're getting a parallel job. There's probably ways around it, but you don't want to be there. You just don't
make the move. You just don't make the move without guidance.
People think too. Oh, I took a job that is 30% more of my original salary,
but most of it's commission.
Or any of that, or it's a different field. We've got a problem.
Yeah,
you don't have an establishment in that field, so just because you think it's okay doesn't mean it is. So everything you do, any purchase over a couple $100, consult with your lender or ask me. Don't buy a boat. Don't buy a car. Don't buy furniture. I know you're excited. Or ask your lender how you can buy these things. Because we're not saying you're a prisoner to your money
but you really
during the loan process, but you need to be smart.
Right.
Don't finance your cable. A lot of times the cable will run your credit for some reason. I don't know why they're doing that. That has actually killed the deal. Not for me, but it has killed the deal for some people.
If you have $50,000 under your mattress, don't deposit it without a paper trail.
No, just tell your lender everything.
Yeah, because the thing of that is if they can't verify that deposit and where that money, they can't source out where that money came from. It's a roadblock.
Yeah, you can't have money under your bed anymore.
Be careful this one too. Disputing charges for bills.
Right.
We've had that where someone got
and
2
then
bills.
It dings their credit report.
Paid it. They said, I'm disputing that. All they see on that credit report
derogatory
is
or
it's in dispute.
So
once they see it's in dispute, they can't use that credit score. It throws you off. I had one guy do it it was like a $49 bill. He says, I already paid this. I have that in dispute. That threw the whole thing off.
For $49.
Yeah. For $49.
So we
you lose your house.
Well, the bottom line is just call us.
Yeah.
We can just
not only
we're
that.
just ranting. And the bottom line is call Candice, call Rick, or call myself, between the hours of 11 and 1.
On the following days of the year.
Not next week.
You got Italy coming up.
I'll be in Italy.
Vineyard coming up.
Yeah. And Key West.
Oh, Key West. Then you got Maine. Yeah. So
I picked the wrong side of this.
I know you did, Candice. I know.
I'm an old lady.
Come over with
when
you
you're
guys.
as old as me, Candice,
I'm old.
then you
I'm
will
right
talk
there with you. I'm
okay.
coming over
you look very good on the show today. There was no brightness. Both of you guys look very good there.
I don't look old.
We don't like the lighting today.
You don't like the lighting at all, huh?
We're not
My
feeling
makeup's
it.
a little.
Everyone's having better hair days than I am, so you guys are doing well. Well, should we? We gotta leave.
We'll have to have Candice back because we could just go on and on
here at the real estate
We've
house
got a lot
party.
of buyers that behave badly. You know what? It's up to the agent to keep them in line.
Or us.
The fake cashier's check. We got to tell that story next time. I've never seen that in 30 years.
I think we've told it before.
I know, but Candice might not have heard of it. Hey, thanks for joining us on the Real Estate House Party. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us, Rick Carter, Kathy Holtshouser, Candice Pagliarulo. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.